Good morning and welcome to the second weekend of Super League Live, and we are here up in Leeds for a double-header action in the Mari Women's Super League. First of all, we'll see the host Leeds Gorse take on the Durham Palatinates, and then later on this afternoon we'll see Dark Star Derbyshire host London Lionhearts. Michael Huntsmars and Shiloh with you for this week. And Shiloh, the exciting thing about the Women's Super League this year has been every team can beat every team, and it's so competitive, and these are two teams trying to get into the top four.
Absolutely. Leeds are 5th and Durham are 6th in the table right now, so as you mentioned, it's a very competitive league, and we've just seen Durham lost 3-0 yesterday against Mallory, and it's just an extremely competitive teams, and both of these teams vying for a top 4 spot.
Both teams are about ready to go, and it'll be Leeds to open up, so Molly and Van Essen back to serve as we're ready for Super League Live here in Leeds. Mari Women's Super League action as both these teams try and get to 2 games above 500 and make a push for the top 4. As Ava Borrowdale is going to make the call on set. We are underway here at the Ruth Gorse Academy. Low serve, Durham just about get it over, not the prettiest, and Leeds will set up and cross court, and that's why you can see the athleticism of perfection on the back set, and a great start for our player of the game for Leeds.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, you know, Leeds starting off strong with that kill from perfection. As we said, just 15 years old.
That was a good serve by Van Essen. This time goes a little bit long on it. As the Leeds crowd making some noise supporting their hometown team. As another slide attempt, and that time finished. No mistake on the second time of asking.
Let's watch this again. You know, the first time it didn't work quite well, but you know, to have the confidence for both the setter and the middle to continue with that play, and this time it pays off. Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, even though they keep going with the middle, they found ways to use different adjust to the set, and you know, not just have a hard swing every time.
Free ball for the Palatinates off the serve. Another slide attack off the top of the net. Recycle by Leeds. Borrowdale from the back line. Overpass on defense. And Leeds will set up and go down the line. Another huge swing.
And let's see this again. We've seen 2 cross shots from the opposite, and this time she goes for the line, you know, just changing up in the offense and giving Durham something else to work with.
Like the execution Elaine Brown will want, but they'll have a chance to right it here as Van Essen goes behind. Owagbo from the back line, no good, and Durham will have to give it up. A fake slide, and Owagbo from the back, but Durham able to recycle it. Cross court, Daly has a huge point for Durham. As Stanton will go back to serve off that timeout. 3-point lead in set number 1 for the Palatinates. As Ganero in, and it is blocked. We just talked about the Durham setting up the block, and it's Alexandria Lesko at the net, says not so fast, and continues his Durham streak.
Yeah, that double block there, that was kind of out of system, so you know, they could read that it was going out to the outside.
Borrowdale from the back, another block solo from Lesko. Borrowdale down the pipe, but Lesko not once but twice, and Durham have all momentum in set number 1. The team coming in today with 81 kills and commits her 9th service error of the season, as Belmontes has to scoop low to dig it out. Tough angle into the block, and Holly Tempest gets the first block of the game for Leeds.
And let's just see that again as the ball goes out of system with that sharp cross just outside the antenna. Tempest reads that really well and just goes for that block.
Costarini was dangerous from the serve line. Leads this Durham team in aces this time. Push set and huge swing and huge kill by Tashandu down from the middle in that gap, as you see here on the replay.
Yeah, way to set out there from Leeds. Finds that B play, and none of the blockers have seemed to found the play.
And we saw it from Leeds earlier, running that longer set with 2 options and really hard to set it up for blocks as Uragbo finds the ace going again down the line. It's clearly something Leeds have talked about. We've seen a lot of serves go down the line early on. Get back into the set now, trailing just by 2 points, 17-15 here at Super League Live.
Ooh, Durham just get the play back. And a great dig there by Belmontes.
And Calanova this time in position. Van Essen going to set Borrowdale with a kind of a timid push backline play. Borrowdale digs it out. And the longest rally we've seen of the game. And the ball finds the back line. Calanova, perfect pass. And Van Essen goes over on second touch. Found the middle of the Durham defense and a great read.
Yeah, cheeky, let's see that again. There's just that gap between the wing diggers on the Durham side. Van Essen sees it and uses it to the best of her advantage.
See if Leeds can get some momentum. Stanton, perfect set, but Farkas able to get there. Van Essen going long, Borrowdale, but not quite completed by Leeds. They'll get a second attack. Borrowdale off the hands of Lesko, finds the floor. And Ava Borrowdale.
And with that, you see the offense being spread so wide, leaving that space between, having the middle run the slide as decoy. And yeah, Borrowdale's attack too much for Durham.
Nice Belmontes. He's done a terrific job defensively in set number 1 for Durham. Pipe attack not quite in sync, so Leeds will attack, huge swing and off the roof, but Ava Borrowdale back to back, off the boil a little bit in the middle of the set, but she's trying to get momentum back for this Leeds side as head coach Paul Welsh calls timeout.
And here's now the Durham captain Ali Lesko behind the service line.
Chance to close out set number 1. 4 set points for the Palatinates. Van Essen goes again, but this time Stanton, the setter, able to make the play. Calanova keeps it alive. Borrowdale's going to have a tough angle off the top of the net tape. Long set, Van Essen able to keep it alive. Borrowdale goes cross court on a tight angle but misses it. And Durham, we said they would want to take 2 points in a row to close out set number 1, and they do, and they win it 25 points to 20, and a very good start for Durham, having come off a 3-0 loss in London yesterday. They'll be delighted with how they performed in set number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Durham has come, looking to aim for that cross court, but it just goes too far wide, and Durham read it well, leaving it.
Van Essen kind of the high-risk server on this Leeds team. Obviously leads the way in errors and aces as Farkas pulls Van Essen way off the 3-meter line, but perfection with a huge down-the-line swing to get her underway in set number 2.
Yeah, here it is. So lethal from that wing, and it was too much for the Durham defense.
Seen it so many times. It feels like it's one of the hardest skills in volleyball is to serve, having just had a timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. And Borrowdale's gone on a good run, but couldn't keep that up after a set.
Lovely back set by Van Essen. Overpass by the Durham back line and finished off. And again, Van Essen changing up the offense and this time getting rewarded.
Yeah, you can go up for that block, but it's just so tough being up there alone. And
Stanton, Daly. Van Essen gets a touch on the net to keep Daly away from the swing. Durham will get it over. Bakuchi with the overpass. Belmontes nearly with an outrageous pickup, but Durham look all out of sorts in set number 2.
Yeah, it's again that overpass, just getting the ball too tight to net where the setter can't really do anything with.
As we see most of the London Lionhearts players now in the building as well, ahead of their game. As Van Essen,
wow,
behind her head, and Elaine Brown gives the thumbs up. The crowd are on their feet here
Yeah, let's take a look at that again. You know, as we said, she spread the offense so well, and she spread up her offense as well. You know, going for a dump in the donut in the beginning, but now she's found the gap just at the tee.
Yeah, it's going to be a frustration for this Durham side. So that one from Van Essen clips the tape of the net, but over. Huge swing by Sino. He's been quiet. And Borrowdale this time over the block. Finds the floor. And a much needed point for Leeds. Borrowdale wasn't the easiest swing she's had today. The block was well established before she even rose up. As Belmontes, not the greatest pass by her standards, but Daly from the pipe goes for placement and finds the gap in the Leeds defense, and a huge swing by Daly.
Here's Borrowdale again, back to serve.
Perfect pass. And Crossarani this time can't find the kill. Again, just trying to ever so slightly find the gap, but not quite sure. I think it was Tempest. We'll have a look on the replay who got her hands to it. Indeed it was. Not the biggest middle in the world, Holly Tempest, but former Darkstar player able to get her hands to it. Best player, a little bit of a breather. You're not, hopefully don't lose too much momentum, but also make sure she can just take a minute just to read what else is happening as Cucci from the back into the hands of the block, but Durham recycle. Gonna have to go back line, does Daly. Ganero nearly gets crossed up. She'll have a pipe attack of her own, but Belmontes again's done a terrific job defensively. Daly, another long rally as both backline pipe attackers having a chance for swings as Tempest gets her hands to it. Tries to go middle, and Cosarini saw Tempest deep in the court and goes for the tip inside the 3-meter line, and Durham win a long rally.
Yeah, and again, it's that patience, but also using that smart play. You know, both of them have been going so strong, so just finding that gap and just placing the ball there.
The crowd really starting to build here at the Ruth Gorse Academy. As Daly goes down, not quite perfectly down the line, but into the gap in the back row. As Lesko into the net, and that is set number 2 to the hosts. They win it convincing fashion, 25 points to 17. And a much needed response by Leeds, but
Important to keep up that service pressure, and you can see there Belmontes giving some more cover, but there was a 3-point pass from Daly, but Leeds were able to pick up the attack.
Borrowdale goes cross court. Awagbo single against Sinan. She'll make no mistake in that again. That's what we talked about, that Leeds offense, and there's the perfect example.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, the middle there is left with a single block, and you know Sinar is not the biggest player, so it's quite tough, and finds that gap, you know, between the block but not quite the line, just avoids the libero at the line.
As Kalanova, a little bit low, Van Essen gets to go with the bump set off Borrowdale. Well kept alive by Sinar. That's going to be tight to the net. Tempest gets a hand to it. Pancake by Kalanova. Belmontes to her left. Huge defensive plays by both teams. Borrowdale into the block, recycled. And perfection with the kill. And Leeds win a huge rally where defense was the star.
It was, and here's that free ball, and again we see Van Essen switching up the play so much.
She goes down the line. And well dug out off the 3-meter line for Daly. Van Essen. Another back set cross court. Good angle, but Durham defense in the right position. That's going to be a push into the back corner. You could see them kind of anticipate it, but Awagbo goes with placement and beats Sina on that back line.
Yeah, you can see just the connection was a little, perfection's gone a little bit too early. Couldn't quite get a swing on it, but you know, sees that gap between the libero running into a back line and just places it there. It's so important, as we mentioned earlier, those substitutions, because it's not just about giving your starting players a rest, but also being able to have your game changers, you know, be in the game and just feel warm and in the rhythm.
Cosarini with the defensive play, but one at the net. You always love that as a middle when it's the setter trying to fight at the net, and Shandu able to force it past Stanton for the kill. So Leeds trailing by 2 points midway through set number 3 here in the Mari Women's Super League, as Daly into the hands. Calanova with a big pickup. Ganero off the bench, going to have a swing at it, finds Belmontes. Daly into the block, Van Essen can't quite control it. Ganero not there on the cover. Tightest set of the day here so far, as Belmontes, all she could do is up in the air into the block. Borrowdale, Calanova gets it over. Cosarini once again. Leeds have no answer right now, and she is running a riot.
She is absolutely, and again, all of that middle, we've said this in the beginning, she's the one to watch, and she's made no mistake.
So 3 set points for Durham, and they'll get a chance on the overpass and the finish. Ganero with the mistake, but the mistake not made in return, and that is set number 3 to Durham. They take a 2-1 lead as Tyler Kutry puts it away with authority.
Yeah, I think with this set, you kind of see the same patterns as we saw in the first set.
Van Essen back set, squeezed through the block, but Daly able to get that overpass. Stanton does a really good job. And Aragbo, second time asking, again finds the cross-court angle in for Durham. Got a really experienced setter with this Durham team as well, having started the season as an overpass, and the ball hits the net tape, and that net touch probably was the thing that caused the ball to go out. Just had a little bit more on it.
Again, that lucky touch of the net from the Leeds side.
I don't know what they've done to the net. Is it possible to have an illegal net tape? So Cosarini on the service line, mistake by Borrowdale. Van Essen, that was just about in play and finished off by Durham. Kurtosy came in and got one on pretty much her first touch. As Leeds try and set it down. Van Essen to Van Essen. Not quite the timing there between the twins, but Leeds able to set it up. Jump set. Sinar. Kutry from the back line. Another longer rally. Block touch. Borrowdale from the pipe. Wins it. Cosarini and Sinar neither could get to it. And huge by Ava Borrowdale.
And again, just that space. The block covered the left-hand side, and both players crashed, but it was too much power, too much speed from Borrowdale there.
We'll get her day underway. And she'll immediately have a chance. Tips. Borrowdale tried to dig it out, but over the net, but also out of court. As Kutra back to serve her first serve. One of the better servers on this Durham team. Something they do lose a little bit with Stanton coming into set. As into the block, and a huge swing, and you can see how fired up Lumsden is. Her 9th kill of the season, and an immediate impact for momentum as they try and claw into set 5, as Durham again not quite on sync. Over on the first touch by Kutry. And that's a really smart swing by Perfection. Looked like she was set to go cross court and rolled her hand around it late and found the gap in the blockers. Again, Morbo, no mistake against a single blockers. Borrowdale gets Sinar scrambling. Kosuri's going to have to put it over. Little bit tight. Tempest tries to go angle. Dug out by Stanton. And Tempest goes off pace. Beats Stanton.
Yeah, and she just goes for that spot once again. You know, couldn't catch her out the first time, but the second time she makes no mistake. And we see here again Durham scrambling off the defense, service pressure, you know, making it really hard for Durham. Oh!
And the Wagbo with the push. She gives a little finger shake to the Durham block saying, don't expect that. I don't know if we'll see that on the replay. Just keep an eye on it after the point. Just there, she gives a little shake.
Yeah,
she is fired up, and we are going 5.
Cheeky play, a 5-set thriller in a battle against between the purples. Here we see the captains are able to find that first point of the game.
And a little bit of Super League news will bring you in a second as Borrowdale goes cross court, over the double, and Elaine Brown is fired up.
Let's see that again. That was, again, you know, using lots of decoys and being able to isolate Borrowdale on that one side going for the cross.
As Van Essen back on the service line, she's done a really good job distributing this Durham offense today. As Daly into the block, we said Durham were going to go middle. This time they go wide, but Leeds able to sit on it and get a huge block kill.
And if we see that again, you know, taking them out of system, going for the outsides, and the double block there just takes away the whole cross.
Van Essen.
Oh.
Changing angle. Belmontes has started to step in, and Daly couldn't get back behind and cover the libero. And that's a huge decision and really smart play. Just watch Belmontes step in, and there she sees it and goes line.
Yeah, really, you know, having hit a couple of crosses, she's gone for the, you know, the precision there, and you know, both the libero and the outside she is slightly towards the right, and she finds that spot, you know, too far in the deep corner for the outsides to reach.
Setting up one of the games of the season in the Mari Women's Super League. These sides will meet again, but not till late in the season. That game in the Northeast due on March the 8th at the back end of the season. As Ganero, big serve, good set by Stan, and Kalanova able to get there. So Borrowdale, no, digging that out. Belmontes was in good position, but the Durham Sina was far too close to the net and needed to come off to make the play.
And here we're just going to see that again. Again, just kind of isolating the offense on that side from the Leeds perspective. Ooh!
Leeds and Daly leaves it, but the ball hits the baseline. Ganero, tight, joust at the net, won by Durham, but not for a kill. Hit by Borrowdale, that's outrageous! Ava Borrowdale at a big moment coming through for her team. The 26-year-old, what a play this is.
And we see that replay with that joust, you know, coming. You know, credit to Leeds for Borrowdale, for Ganero to kind of stay within the play, to set that up and to, you know, find that gap in their defense right in the middle in the donut.
She had a little bit of an impact off the bench in set 4. Hadn't played until then. Kalanova, Borrowdale, Belmontes with the dig. Ooh. And a huge swing picked up by Ganero down the line. Joust keeps it alive. That's going to be a free ball. In fact, they're going to call 4 touches. No, they're going to call a double touch on Kalanova, in fact. I thought they were going to call 4, but it's 2, and Leeds are going to talk it over. 9 points apiece. Set number 5, Elaine Brown just wants to slow it down. In her first year with the club. And she will go back to serve. Match point at Durham.
Right at the
Kalanova low. Aragbo can only push it. Durham are going to have a set. There they go middle. Cosarini into the block, and Durham win. Claire Cosarini has been huge and she finishes it off on the middle swing. And Durham, a huge victory, 15-13 in set number 5. Just get set to bring you post-game reaction here from the Ruth Gorse Academy. And I'm now joined by our player of the game, Claire. Huge victory for the team. Just talk about the emotions of that 5-set thriller.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely really nice, like a really good team win to pull that one out. I think it could have gone either way for a little while there, but I think sticking with it the whole time really allowed us to pull it out at the end.
And I'm sure you put the coaching staff through the emotions,
Yeah.
obviously set 4 in particular, not quite the momentum, but how nice is it now to start to be healthy at last and just start to piece this team together?
Yeah, exactly. I think we've been dealing with some injuries, which is always tough, and then obviously a new group together takes a little time to gel, but I think we're really starting to hit our stride, and we know where our areas of improvement are, so that's really been nice to get focusing on that training.
And obviously, set a change coming in with Malaya obviously coming back into lineup, but it looked like she's been training with you, but that synergy, especially for you in the middles, definitely come through.
Yeah, I think that it's come a long way for sure, and having her in training is a huge help just with our numbers and the energy and the skill she brings. So yeah, it's been awesome having her, and we're excited to keep working on the connections with all the hitters and her.
And obviously, I know every game's important in Super League, but obviously the ambition is coming in, repeating as champions, and this win's a huge step for you going towards the Christmas break.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice finishing out this first half of the season kind of on a high, so we kind of want to keep the momentum going. So yeah, definitely nice to get that one taken care of today.
And obviously the team aspect, you talked about it. Just talk about the defensive play, though, of Caroline in the back row.
Oh, yeah.
She just felt like she was just making plays and just gave you those extra balls to attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge having her back there. We trust her so much that it translates to the block defense too. So, I mean, yeah, definitely a huge component to being able to block and then continue plays, especially when you're playing against such strong attackers.
Well, we'll let you go, but congratulations. A huge
Thank you so
victory for
much.
your side and jump ahead of Leeds in the standings. That is your player of the game, Claire Casarini from Durham, and we'll take a quick break and be ready. Dark Star and Lionhearts on deck here from Leeds Gorse Academy.